What's up everybody? I hope you're all doing well today, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. I make videos about great places to live and visit in America, and we are continuing our series comparing cities that are on the rise. Today, we are looking at Boise and Salt Lake City. Most people don't know much about either city and have preconceived notions. Today, we are going to show you where they're similar and where they differ so you can better determine which may be right for you. Without further ado, let's look at Boise, Idaho versus Salt Lake City, Utah. Both Boise and Salt Lake have seen massive waves of new residents in recent years, and they don't show signs of slowing down. Boise has a population of over 228,000 residents, and while the population of Boise is growing, the suburbs surrounding Boise are really growing fast too. Salt Lake does have a growing population as well. They recently surpassed 200,000 residents in the city limits. But Salt Lake City's metro population is almost 500,000 more than Boise. Both Salt Lake and Boise are seeing much of their new residents migrating from Oregon, Washington, and California. The taxes in Boise and Salt Lake City are pretty comparable in most ways. In Boise, you save a bit on sales tax, and in Salt Lake, they have a lower average property tax rate. Utah's income tax structure is a flat tax, just under 5%, whereas Idaho's income tax rate spans from just over 1% to just under 7%. On paper, these are very different. But if you're a single filer making $57,000, which actually happens to be the median income in both cities, well, the difference is only about $15. For married filers, it evens out right after you start earning six figures. So taxes and median income are both relatively similar in many circumstances, but your purchasing power may be a bit lower in Salt Lake when it comes to purchasing a home. All in all, the current financial numbers are pretty similar in either state. So unless there's a big difference in your industry's earning potential, you're probably going to be okay with either city. Now, crime is an area where these two cities begin to separate. Salt Lake City is surprisingly high in crime, especially property crime, where they are about 170% higher than the national average, and they have finished in the top 10 worst cities several times over the last decade, whereas Boise's property crime rate is 3% lower than the national average. Boise's violent crime is so low for a metropolitan area, but Salt Lake's violent crime rate exceeds the national average by 89%. Now, I couldn't find strong data on why their crime rates are so high, but locals seem to suggest that much of the crime stems from mostly bored teenagers and some gang activity. If you are serious about moving to Salt Lake City, I would look at a crime map for sure and try to drill down on what areas are the best. As different as these cities are when it comes to crime, they're actually pretty darn similar when it comes to weather. They both have a bit over 200 days of annual sunshine, they both receive under 20 inches of rainfall, and their annual highs and lows for the year are actually pretty similar. Where they separate a lot is snow. Salt Lake City receives 3 times more snow than Boise, and even double what the national average is for snowfall. If you move to either city, you'll definitely have to buy a snow shovel, but in Salt Lake, they'll give you more of a chance to use it. Now, when it comes to politics, I think this may surprise a lot of people. Both Boise and Salt Lake are a lot less conservative than many people might think. In Boise, Donald Trump won Ada County by only 4%, and Joe Biden beat Trump by over 11% in Salt Lake City. Both of these states are strongly conservative. Trump won Idaho by 30 points, and Utah by more than 20%. With growing populations, especially coming from the West Coast, both Boise and especially Salt Lake might start to lean a little bit more left in the coming years, although it appears that many of the people heading to these states are also conservative, so I guess we'll see how these migration patterns affect politics in the years to come. Salt Lake City is clearly more diverse than Boise. However, most cities in the country would beat either one of these cities in the amount of diversity represented in their population. If you are someone who wants a culturally diverse experience, you may be better off in Salt Lake than in Boise. Well, at least on paper. But hey, if you're watching the video from Boise or Salt Lake, let us know down below. Idaho and Utah are the two states with the highest concentrations of Mormons in their population, and it's apparent as you drive through many parts of Salt Lake and Boise metro areas. Both cities put a premium on family, education, and strong community values. If you are someone who loves being involved with local events and causes, these are a couple of great options for you. Neither of these cities are big enough to consistently attract national tours, but Salt Lake is close to the annual Sundance Film Festival, which attracts celebrities and creatives for a week of film and fun. Professional sports aren't big in either place. In fact, the Utah Jazz are the only MLB, NBA, or NFL team in either city. However, the Boise State Broncos are an integral part of Idaho's community. Salt Lake is home to the University of Utah and less than an hour from BYU, located in Provo. So at least you have a few solid options to go catch a game in these cities. Now, I have to admit, I may be a bit biased when it comes to natural beauty. Both places have quality city parks and some nice outdoor recreation spots. But I have been to every single national park in Utah, and they're incredible. Bryce, Arches, and Zion National Parks are the standouts. But Utah actually has much more to offer than just these parks. Now, Idaho owns a sliver of Yellowstone National Park, but actually it's still closer to Salt Lake. But Boise is located in close proximity to mountain ranges, waterfalls, rivers, and great outdoor recreation spots as well. Most nationally recognized destinations in either case are going to be a bit of a drive. It actually surprised me that it appears to be a bit cheaper in most circumstances to fly from Boise than in Salt Lake. Boise is also a quicker drive to most places in Oregon, Washington, and Northern California, while Southern Cal, Arizona, and Colorado are more attainable from Salt Lake. So if you have certain places you enjoy road tripping, I suppose that's worth considering. To recap, taxes and income potential are pretty similar in both cities. The weather is nearly identical in many ways, besides Salt Lake's exorbitant amounts of snow. Boise is more conservative and safer than Salt Lake, but they have less to do there and it's significantly less diverse. Salt Lake costs a bit more, their crime rates are pretty high, and you may pay a bit more in income taxes than a middle-class family would in Boise. But they have better entertainment, greater diversity, and they're a bit more liberal than Boise. Boise and Salt Lake are a bit expensive to travel from, but Boise may be a tad less expensive. There are some really big differences between these two cities, and much they have in common. Hopefully, this video gave you some perspective on which city may be a better fit for you. Thanks for sticking around until the end. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and like it down below. Subscribe if you want more content like this, or click one of the videos playing here on the end cards. If you have any questions, think I left something out, or have an idea for other cities to compare, comment down below and I'll do my best to respond. Well, thanks for spending part of your day with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.